Ryan says he has to leave to come back. This is not really for anybody watching. This is for the people of Rumble who make Rumble Studio. Can anyone explain why Ryan doesn't know we're live, why his screen is different than reality? Ryan, even your screen doesn't believe in reality.
I tried telling you guys. I just get told that it's methamphetamine. So
your phone's on
or
meth?
that my life is my phone's on meth and my life is too hard. So
Ryan, the only problem is, now I know you personally, so I believe you. But the average public watching the show, Ryan, you're in the trade, so naturally you're definitely on all types of drugs. It's just like how you people are.
you people, what's that even mean? I heard a funny joke about the trades, David. It was like a grandpa telling his grandson story type of angle in the meme, and it was like, Grandpa, why did you leave like concrete and other general construction and become an electrician? He's like, well, they don't make the code book in Spanish. It's only in English, so figured I'd be safe for a while.
I've always said this, Ryan. The problem I have with deporting illegal immigrants is now all the electricians have to do drywall. If
I'll do it. I'm just not very good at it. I could put a wire there.
Jesus Christ, Ryan.
For the record, I heard there was a lot of extracurriculars during the stadium build. Not only does Bill's Mafia have a very high blood alcohol content, but I'm sure there's some other things in the bloodstream, David.
Dude, the fact that I've worked, well, a lot of people in my family too, but like I've been around a lot of construction in my life, and the fact that these places are still standing today is fucking mind blowing to me.
I will say though, I mean, I literally have worked outside every day, like all day. I spend more time outside than inside in a regular day. So I almost think you got to be on something to be able to fucking do that day in and day out for 30 years.
Ryan, we have
seasons.
Sorry. We have a couple real things to discuss on the show. Not that what we're talking about isn't real. What I mean by that is sometimes when the news isn't, let's say, very active, we come up with fun things, and I think this is going to be a fun show because news-wise, there wasn't a whole lot today. I will say,
Tim Pool's gay.
That is hilarious. First of all, I will say since I am talking about the fact that it's not really a news day, I will say worth noting, and I think this is the first thing we need to talk about. Dan Bongino has officially announced that he is going to be stepping down as the deputy director. And probably that means returning to his podcast life. And I just have to say, before we get into all the fun stuff, for all the shit that guy talked, the same shit that me and you talk, Ryan, every day, to go into that position, to suck that hard, it's going to be so hard to take him seriously when he returns. I'm sorry. He was fucking abysmal. And now I'm supposed to pretend when he gets back, good old Dan's back. Dude, no, I'm sorry. I just can't do it. I can't. Dude, how many stories did we cover when he was there just cozying up with Kash Patel, who was also supposed to be this rock star, and covering up for like the Epstein files, or like I just can't. They're just like running around parading because they took out a few fentanyl dealers. I'm like, I'm sorry, but like the FBI there has to be way more important shit for the FBI to be doing than I'm sorry. I know everyone's all excited. Dan's show is coming back, but I fucking can't. I can't get excited for these people.
Did he say that he's going back to podcasting officially?
No,
that's official.
I don't think he's.
You're just guesstimating.
I think that's the assumption everyone's making. I haven't seen him specifically. Yeah, I mean, his statements have all been pretty vague. He said, "I'll be leaving my position with the FBI in January. I want to thank President Trump, AG Bondi, and Director Patel for the opportunity to serve with purpose. Most importantly, I want to thank you, my fellow Americans, for privilege to serve. God bless America, all those who defend her, blah, 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 blah." But I haven't and it might be out there, but I personally haven't seen anything specifically that says he is returning. I just think that's what everyone assumes is going to happen. And by the way, what do you think, assuming he returns, which I also assume is going to happen? You think he's going to be breaking down all the big deep secrets of the FBI now? Or do you think he's going to be just
He's going to have the inside sources of mine, people
yeah,
familiar with the matter.
I'm sure.
He's going to have all the inside sources. He's going to sound like a conspiracy theorist.
I don't know what people are hoping
Tell
for.
me you're a plant without telling me you're a plant. We've made the joke, Russia. I will shill for you, but you gotta pay me.
I mean, the bid starts at 7,000, right? Because isn't that what Israel's paying?
Yeah,
You
I
got to
want
beat
$7,000 in
7,000.
Bitcoin.
You have to beat 7,000 shekels. I don't know. Well, $7,000, which is I don't know how many shekels that is. You have to be able to beat 7,000 US dollars. I think that was per post, if I remember correctly. So Israel's paying pretty
I
well.
want it in Bitcoin though. I want it in Bitcoin though.
But well,
Untraceable.
well, sure. I'm sure Dan can tell you all about how they trace it. Um, yeah, Russia, you got to really put up or shut up. You're not going to win anybody over with your $50,000 Facebook ads. I don't. It's not 2016 Russia. Uh,
Remember when we simulated 50K in Facebook ads? It was a good time.
it was like equal to like 1,000 likes or something. It was like so or 10,000 likes, whatever it was. It was like so minimal. It did nothing at all. And the idea that it completely overturned an election is fucking asinine. 50 people have no idea how small $50,000 in advertising is.
It's like half a week.
$50,000, dude. The the company I work for puts up just on part. It's not even the whole business, like just part of the business of one store, one department of one store does 3 grand a month in advertising. Like 50K is to flip an election. No, that'd be the cheapest election purchase of all time.
Safest.
Like you
It was
can't
the safest and
buy
secure, Dave.
elections for 50 grand. Like what do people think things cost? Dude, you
Oh,
could
my dad
buy
still thinks it's like $8 an hour for minimum wage.
dude, you can't buy a house for $50,000. You think you're buying an entire election for $50,000? Who the
Cars are
fuck
50 grand.
actually who believe these people?
Cars 50 grand. You make
Dude,
50
I
grand.
lease a car
A
that's
house.
50 grand. Are you nobody who believed this? Who believed $50,000 in Facebook ads change an election? I want to meet you because you're retarded. You have no concept of what things cost. $50,000, first of all, is no fucking money. The average person makes that in a year. So we're supposed to believe the average person, if he saved all of his money for 1 year, can buy an election for the entire country and the most powerful country in the world. Who the fuck? Why do people not think critically?
Well, it's not from the acetaminophen their mom took when they were in fucking orphan stage, David.
Do people really believe this shit? Are you fucking kidding me? $50,000. Yep. Russia bought a whole fucking. They bought. Yep. Russia paid for Trump in 2016 with what the average person in the United States makes in a salary. You're fucking
Well,
retarded.
average
There's
male.
no way.
Average male, David,
Well,
not female.
yeah, I mean, they're not gonna. Yes, I mean, let's not be too crazy. It has to be somewhat believable, Ryan. They're not going to do it for $38,000 a year. Uh,
I don't want to work Saturday,
I
so
don't know
don't.
why men make like so much more money than me, Ryan.
Yeah, I got here before you and I leave after you.
Yeah, I don't know. Ryan was just talking about how 90% of his day is spent out in 3-degree weather. I don't know. I can't figure it out either. Probably because you take the phone call so he can go do his job and build the earth. I'm sorry. Like the dude, we broke down
I'm
the
getting
gender
really
pay gap
cynical.
before.
Yeah. I'm getting real cynical about the fact that I literally build a world people walk on and then they're going to talk to me a certain way. Like, do you understand? I'll just unplug your fucking house. Like, I might be that petty. I'll go unplug the police station. Like, not literally YouTube, but metaphorically, I will unplug. Go ahead, David.
Uh, well, I don't know. I mean, like I said, as far as news goes, um, that was definitely the biggest news of the day. So I don't know. Like, what would you? I mean, am I off base? Like, what would you expect from Dan Bongino? He's just going to come back and act like nothing happened? Like, I don't understand what his plan is here.
The funny thing to me is the people that think the guy has integrity. Now, I'm not the one to be speaking on integrity. Like, I'm the most integrity person, David. But the point of I think what makes a good broadcaster or podcaster at this point, we've shot enough of these, David, that like you got to be willing enough to believe in yourself to be wrong. Because it's almost like truth is on the edge. In the way of the superior man, there's like a tenet in there that as a man, you must never lose your edge. And that's basically where you're in like flow, like the edge of your known and unknown and where they clash. And that's how you keep growing and you stay attractive and attract
That's
and manifest things.
that's why I always focus so much on my edging.
Just goon all day, dude.
Uh, Ryan, there's actually a good clip of this. Candace Owens was on Piers Morgan, and I'm gonna set it up and then play it. But I think this is a really important point that Candace makes because we've talked about this before, basically. Which, if I remember correctly, it was Ben Shapiro who was talking about waiting for the facts. You can go about certain things different ways. I think everybody knows that. That's with anything in life. You can really do basically the same thing in different ways. But it's important to note what's different between the different routes of action here. Now, when you're trying to get to truth, because ultimately, at least I hope that's what everybody in our space is trying to do, right? Is get to the bottom of truth. I think a lot of people are showboating, right? Like a lot of people are maybe promoting, maybe people are just pushing sides or whatever. But really, what everyone should be trying to do is get to truth because that's ultimately going to lead the way. And some people will, quote, wait for the facts. And some people will just start steamrolling everything in its sight until it finds facts. And Ben Shapiro was a wait for the facts guy. Candace Owen is a bull in a facts china shop, just trying to find facts. And unfortunately, that means you're smashing things that you don't need to smash. It means you're saying things you don't need to say. Sometimes you're saying things that aren't true, trying to pursue things that are true. It can get messy. It's not like a super black and white thing. There's nothing but gray area here. So Candace Owens is on Piers Morgan, and she makes an excellent point where she just states basically what I just said, where she tells Piers that basically he's too afraid to ask questions, and he just basically waits for the facts. I don't know. We've talked about this in the past. I just can't do. Me and you are on the same page on this. We can't do the wait for the facts thing. Somebody has to go get the facts, right? Like we agree this is the only way. The facts come from somewhere.
Yeah, how does Candace Owens have a stronger jaw than Piers Morgan?
Bigger balls.
Why? What is your theory?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
You must have an idea.
My theory is that we should investigate everything strange that happened on that day so we can figure out what happened.
But are you suggesting that?
Are you
suggesting
why is everybody
Egypt?
why are we pretending that we don't know why we ask questions? Like why? Like you're a journalist.
You
know what this is. You're like, what's going on? What's going on?
Theory?
Why do you want to know why these planes were tracking Charlie? Well, my theory is that we are being sold absolute Fed slop. The media is doing their Operation Mockingbird Part 2 scenario by telling us, well, unless you absolutely have a conclusion, you can't even ask the question. Yes, we very well
but
damn
it may
can.
Be,
Keep asking consistent questions until we get a clarified explanation for what happened on that day. And right now, We have nothing, okay? And that is the reason why people are watching my show, because I'm the only one not treating them like they're absolute idiots who don't have two eyes and who believe in magic bullet theories and who understand that Egyptian planes should not have been tracking Charlie even 3 times this year would be an anomaly, okay? They've been tracking him. We don't know where it's going to end, but we are going to keep asking questions until we get clear answers.
Candace, it may be that the person in the media spewing bullshit to the public is you.
No, nice try. It's not. It's you by saying, why are you asking questions? Don't you worry about Mikey's feelings? Everyone knows what this is. And like I said, because we have the example, the concrete example of after JFK's assassination, the media members quite literally being put on the payroll of the CIA, we have a historical example that we can look at and go, we're not doing that again. Doesn't matter how many times you keep telling the public that I'm spewing bullshit, only because there has not been anything that has come out of this investigation that makes any sense, that the public is not listening to. I am sorry to say this, Piers, people like you. And what I love about you and I sitting down is that this exact same time last year, you were doing the same weird questioning and making all these things when I said that they were committing a Holocaust against the Gazans, and then you changed your mind.
Actually, this time,
I'll see you next year when you change your mind again, and we have more information about what happened, and you realize that the difference between me and you is that I have the courage to take the risks and ask the questions first, okay, before it's popular. You wait until it becomes popular, and then you change your mind.
Stellar.
She makes a great point because everyone remembers. Everyone who watches this show remembers because we covered it while it was happening. It's such a good thing about covering all this stuff all the time because we have such a we have a track record of this. Like I watched it happen in real life live. Piers Morgan interviewed Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, they were talking about Israel Palestine, right? And Andrew Tate's saying like, "What? Listen, basically whatever you want to say, but I'm just not cool with dead children. Okay, let's just be clear." And he's like, "Well, they're not committing genocide. There's nothing that Israel's doing wrong, and it's all conflict and it's war and it's unfortunate, but it's just a response to the attack on October 7th." And dude, ask Piers now. We just did another clip of Piers with Dave Rubin where he was basically Andrew Tate. But it took Piers 2 years to get there. A year? 2 years? I think 2 years. It took Piers Morgan 2 years to get to the same place that we've been at for 2 years. That's the importance. That's the difference in the techniques. Is that we've been on the right side of history for 2 years while we waited for everybody to come over to us. That's why you don't wait for the facts. That's why you pursue the truth actively. Because
why would I trust known liars?
Time.
Why would I trust known liars that have lied about almost everything that's ever happened in the last 50 years at least?
Do you think the FBI would lie to you, Ryan, about Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, she referenced a lot there. Magic bullet theory, MK Ultra Part 2.
I think she,
pretty good.
Yeah, Operation Mockingbird. Yeah,
Operation
the FBI.
MK Ultra was the brainwash.
The FBI's, yes. The FBI is involved currently in the University of Brown shooting. They don't magically have all the answers. There's no ammunition with engravings on it. There's no we found a gun in a bush that nobody else could find. There's nothing. Nobody turns some magical guy in. There's no chat forums on Reddit. They got nothing. They have nothing. They have like a grainy picture of a guy that they think could be maybe a suspect. Nothing. Dude, they had like dude, it was a week and the FBI completely solved the Charlie Kirk thing. They knew who it was. They had forums. They had text messages. They had the ammunition that was engraved. They found his firearm that the local police couldn't find. The bomb sniffing dogs couldn't find. Like nobody could find this thing, and they're like, "Oh, here it is in this bush right here." Like, duh, you guys forgot to look here, dude. There's no way The FBI got lucky once. I mean, how come when it's convenient? It seems very convenient timing. Sometimes they can solve some of like the most in-depth shit almost instantly. Here we are.
Yeah, we didn't know who killed Tupac, but 50 Cent figured it out with Netflix.
The same FBI working on the Brown case, which is school shooting. Let's be honest, it's the same thing. No clue. We got nowhere to go. Does anyone know who this grainy picture is? Nope, nobody does. By the way, why do we have so many grainy pictures in 2025? Can we get some high def security cameras, please? Have you seen some of the picture quality on some of these things? I'm just glad the cameras work, I guess.
Well, you know, Epstein's file is going to be non-redacted or edited, David, except for like the 35 seconds.
Did you see the video of the FBI searching for evidence? Speaking of the Brown University shooting, this is the FBI. Like 72 hours into Charlie Kirk's murder, they had all of like the most in-depth shit possible. These are the same people.
You can see them that they're kicking the snow out of the way, methodically looking step by step, looking to see if there's anything in the snow at all that can help point them in the right direction of this investigation. And if you look over across the street, Seth, for those of us just show, let me see it right over here. There's that team as well. They're doing the exact same thing across the street.
$100,000 a year right there per agent.
They'll have this bitch cracked in no time, boys.
Who is gathered there as part of the investigation. And John, at times we've seen them with actual rakes combing through some of the snow-covered ground there, some of the shrubs, some of the trees. They're obviously looking in very specific areas. Again, this is live, watching the FBI combing through, obviously looking for any bit of evidence to further this investigation, live out of Providence, Rhode Island, John.
Yeah, anything that the gunman might have dropped or tossed on his way out of the building as he went walking down the street, because that's right in the area there where the surveillance camera got a picture of him,
like
where our Brian Yennis has been dutifully reporting from.
Found the cocaine.
Watching this, John, obviously, as that community and those students have been shaken to their core.
Dude, I don't know. I don't mean to make light of like fucking literally a school shooting, but like, come on. This is the ultra high competent FBI. These are the people. They found Tyler Robinson. 72 hours. All right. Sure. I don't know. Maybe some cases are way easier than other ones, I guess. I don't know. Oh, he turned himself in. Guess we're good.
Turned himself in with a double gunshot in the back of the head, assassination style.
Yeah, he turned himself in. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not saying it wasn't Tyler. I just come on. Everything just seems too convenient sometimes. Ryan, there was I think we've made this point before. Everyone assumes that you have to be like Charlie Kirk before they come for you, right? You have to have this big mass following. There's a story in the Daily Mail, and of course this comes from the UK, because who else? Twitter user, which they call the Twitter, that's dead naming, is jailed for 18 months for 2 anti-immigration tweets made after Christmas market car attack that were viewed 33 times. He had 33 views on a tweet and got arrested.
So you're telling me we would definitely be in jail in England, David?
Oh, we 100% are in jail in England, especially with this digital ID that's conveniently mandatory.
Well, it's just super easy to get everybody jobs. There's gonna be no jobs with robots. You're telling me mass unemployment's coming, but I need this for a job that's not going to exist? Well, we don't know the jobs that will exist because AI is on the way. What? So yeah, round out your point, Dave. It's everybody. It's always been for everybody. I thought of this the other day. Jewish algorithms, David.
Sure.
He scooted right over that. We literally scooted right over that. Are they gonna have shit built into the AI algorithms to like not allow stuff about Jews? You know what I
Ryan,
mean? Like he said, artificial intelligence. Like these people are going to make an algorithm to brainwash you with.
Ryan, that would mean you could control the algorithm, and it wasn't this big natural thing that they tell you it is.
Well, clearly, we
The
don't
al-
influence it. We just
Ryan,
influence it, Dave. We
Ryan, the
control
algorithm
it.
just simply takes the data from you, the user, and shows you more of the things it knows you like based on your view time, Ryan. So surely it would never be used against you actively. That
Well,
can't happen,
it
of
can
course.
radicalize you, but yeah, what's interesting is the internet can radicalize all these people, but it can't not radicalize you. It can't like force you into
You
soft compliance.
you may want to make these absurd claims, Ryan, but I will sit here and wait for an article to come out about that 2 years from now.
Well, that's why I can't wait, Dave, because we'll remember this conversation. You'd be like, dude, do you remember the time? I'd still be wearing that fucking military hat. My neck would be so huge. Should have left it on.
Yes, of course. Of course they control algorithms.
Yeah, but we're going into anti-Jew algorithms. And obviously, David, they're just going to stop at Jews. They're not going to algorithm anything else. Nothing like founding fathers or freedom or liberty or reading or writing or.
How many founding fathers posts do you get on your daily social media, Ryan?
0.
Interesting. It's like they're making you forget your roots, Ryan.
Bring it back to the.
Streamer Kai Cenat. I don't know if you're aware of who he is. He's like one of the biggest streamers in the world. I will say I don't particularly care for his style of content, but that's not here or there, and it's just putting it out there. However, he did do a kind of like a very personal post, and I just wanted to put it up here because I think this is the kind of thing that we break off into sometimes.
Hello, everybody. I'm currently on my laptop right now, and I appreciate everybody who's been sending me birthday wishes, as today is my birthday. So I felt like it was the perfect day to be transparent and honest with you guys. A few days ago, I spread awareness on mental health and how important it is to take care of yourself. And honestly, for the past few months, I've been struggling with mental health out of self-doubt and fright of pursuing goals that I really want to achieve. And the reason I've really been in my head is because I just wanted to do more. I've gained to realize that I'm a true creator and I'm very passionate about creating. And I have other goals and things that I just want to achieve and do more of. And I would love to show you guys what I've been working on for the past few months through my more personal page, which is KC3 Hidden. I am going to go private soon on that page. So whoever gets in, but I just want to let you guys know that sometimes it is important to take care of your mental health. And honestly, it's been getting better. It has. But out of frustration and fear, I just been in my head for some reason. I never had this feeling before, but I want it to be known that I truly want to create. And I don't know if I'm getting mature or I'm just looking things at a broad point of view, but I am so passionate about creating in general. And I'm excited to show you guys what's going on.
I hope that guy doesn't kill himself.
No, I hope people are checking in with him regular.
Yeah, normally when you hear like a person like that, that's what I always think too, is that like they were really low, like really low. Like if they're feeling like I feel on my worst days, I couldn't imagine like sitting in a Lamborghini and still wanting to kill yourself. You know what I mean? You got to feel so fucking hollow.
Dave
Like you have
Chappelle
all this stuff, you have all the health, you have all the wealth, your blah blah XYZ model wife, kids, and you're like, fuck.
Dave Chappelle had that great bit about Anthony Bourdain to start off one of his shows. He's like, this guy went all around the world, traveled everywhere, ate food with celebrities, hung himself. I don't know, man. There's so many phrases, man. Money can't buy happiness. More money, more problems, right? There's a lot of people running around, and I hate to see it, but there's a lot of people running around like, well, you know, how could you be so rich and successful and famous and still have mental health problems? It's like, dude, I don't know. I feel like you're just not you're not getting it. You're just not getting.
That's the empathy thing we talked about.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. Like, dude, how about fucking? Because this is other like rich people, other famous people, other people with form of stature, and it's like, I don't know. Instead of going on another person's show and like mocking him for being open about his mental health, like, I'm sure you have some form of way to connect with him if you also are a person of some form of, I don't know. Have you reached out to him instead of like making fun of him on somebody else's show? Like,
Yeah, does he kill himself and then you get more money because you get more of his streamers? Like, is that the way these people think?
I don't know. Like, here's the thing, and I've talked about this before. I think I've tried to talk about this with Eve before, and she doesn't particularly love my position on this, but I think she misconstrues my thoughts on mental health and like mental illnesses and stuff, because she thinks I don't think they exist, and that stems from, I've said many times before. I think certain things are overdiagnosed. I think I think Big Pharma does a lot to aid in overdiagnosing that, because guess what happens when you get to overdiagnose people on depression? You get to give them pills. Guess who benefits from that? So I do. I think like ADHD and depression and anxiety and all these things that have pills to cure you. I do think they've conveniently all spiked over the years, because guess what? Now we get to sell you pills. But that doesn't mean I don't think I don't think people can genuinely have issues. Of course people can be depressed, actually depressed. People can, of course, have actual anxiety. I also think there's something natural in all these. Like when people talk about anxiety, like, "Ooh, I have strong anxiety." Like, I think to an extent isn't that a good thing? In an extent, like, situationally, if you have anxiety, that means you're aware enough that you should care about this particular thing. Oh, I have really bad anxiety when I have a test coming up. Okay. To me, that's like your body telling you should probably give a shit about this test that's coming up. You should probably open up the book, study a little harder, like, so you're going to go into this thing and do well. That to me doesn't constitute better, overdose this person on medical drugs. Whatever. I've had these conversations before, and I would never say that I can't have these feelings or emotions, but I don't think I would ever let myself have these feelings or emotions. So when I see other people suffering with it, I do feel for them, because I know that it like couldn't be me, right? Like, not me, not going to happen. But man, if people are suffering from this, I fucking feel for you. I do. I don't want people to have this. I don't, and absolutely, there are cases where medication is the only answer, but I think we jump the gun a lot of times. So to clarify, I guess, where I stand on this, Yes, people can be depressed, and no, medication isn't always the answer, but yes, it can be the answer. But when you see a post like this, to me, the good news is, in my opinion, someone who has made it to a point where they can talk about it openly is at least a lot better than where they were at their lowest point. I don't think somebody suffering at their lowest point is going to put out a video talking about their mental health. I think it's only after they've healed a bit.
Yeah, and realize what they were about to do. And I mean, he said a couple months. Maybe he drew like paintings or poetry or music or making a story or podcast. Like, maybe he did the Jim Carrey. He took ayahuasca in fucking the middle of Switzerland in a empty, no window hotel, and like ego death all the way. Like, Dave, to round your point out about like the whole mental illness thing, like I've been heavily criticized because people closest to me that have mental health problems say that I don't believe in them. So I can feel your sentiment with that. And what it really is I think they have low willpower and I have high willpower. You can call it mental toughness. I understand life beats a lot of things out of a lot of people, but it's been shown through research that your hippa, splippa, lippa, campus, rampus, whatever the fuck in your brain, there is like the seat of willpower and it can grow. So there might be a biological factor to the way people feel. Seasonal depression will make you feel unmotivated. Then if you have a guilty conscience, you'll guilt yourself worse for not like working right when you should, because you know that you should do something, but then you don't, and then you get in like I 100% agree, and I don't discredit the stuff. The problem I have, and it kind of ties back into your thing about anxiety, it's like, are you depressed or do you just have a shitty life? Because what I thought, also watching him, we talked about following your edge, right? Don't lose your edge. Is that the guy that had Kevin Hart in his house and he like would just sit in a room with a bunch of people? They'd all be all over the place and they're like half
Very,
funny.
very likely, because that describes the type of content he does.
Yeah,
There's a
but
spider crawling down in front of me.
yeah. So I know who you're talking about, and that guy. It's not that he probably, like he said, maybe he's maturing. You realize like purpose never ends, which is why like as a man you have to follow purpose. You can't follow pleasure because pleasure is infinite, but purpose, there's levels to it. Like you get trapped in pleasure. Maybe that's why it's the lowest level of hell, because you get
I think
trapped there
it's
the easiest.
100. Well, yeah, I was just gonna say, I think pleasure. The reason is because it's so easy, right? It's so easy to be pleasured, isn't it? It's so easy to be instantly rewarded. Um, and there's different kinds of pleasure. But I
Well,
think
eyes deceive the mind. That's like one of the easiest forms of loss is to check out a girl that walks by you.
Mhm.
You
And
know,
it's
and
and
when
it's the
in
simplest.
reality you cheat yourself. Yeah, it's the simplest, but it's also the simplest human nature. It's your lowest chakra if you're going Eastern medicine, even, which is also related to rage. Like it's the aggression, that primal energy is the fuck. So like, is it really the lowest, or our lowest beast like thing is also the thing that removes the least amount of thought, right? Because it's so instinctual. Which makes me lead to think that like the Enlightenment age, maybe those people were literally enlightened. You understand, like the timing in history, they figured out enough food, they figured out enough people to read, enough math was figured, like it was just literally just like the perfect time for the Renaissance and stuff historically. Or but I say all that to say back to him, that purpose, because it looked like he had a fire in him. Like that little bit of like, I can't wait to show you guys. Like it was like And I go back to this thing, it's like purpose unlocks higher gates where pleasure or money or women are never going to satisfy. You know, I've been criticized heavily by people that have loved me that like you'll sell everything out for what you want. And to some extent I would.
Well,
And and if it goes back to
that's
the
kind of like,
family,
I was gonna say that's kind of like pick 3 things and then pick, you know, one of those 3 things. It's like, would I sell one of the 3 things out for the thing I value the most? Sure. If you value it the most, that only makes sense.
yeah. And like the easiest way I put it is myself. It's not me being selfish, but it's like the life I imagine is far grander than the one that you imagine for me and you, or for yourself. Like the places I want to go and things that, like, it's not like, call me too ambitious metaphorically with my imagination, fine. But that's kind of what I guess I'm saying. Like the things that I want to do or go envision or the life plan I have, it hasn't gone to plan. Nothing's perfect, but the only reason I probably still stand and don't have more mental health is because I believe in what I'm doing is going to pay off. And I will do what is required. You know, I will do what other people will not do to get what I want. And yeah, that requires saying goodbye to people. It requires us saying hi to new people. Like doors open and doors close. God giveth, God taketh. Whatever yin and yang we got to say, right? We had that on the program a few weeks ago, me figuring out how to walk both sides of a dagger. But like when I see shit like this, I'm glad you played this clip, Dave, because we do these kind of talks. Like, and it's not even necessarily about the mental health side, but it just shows how complicated it is to be a human, but how simple we all relate over the same shit. That guy and I have nothing in common, but him and I sound almost the same. You know, and I can't help but wonder, it goes back to purpose and like God, like outside of your body, you always talk God needs to come back, even though you're not religious, just like the thought of it, because the world was better. It's like, short of purpose and God, what else does a man have? Because everything else will leave you. You know, your kids will get old, they'll move out. Your wife or you will pass away first. You know, you can build a house, the house is going to burn eventually. Everything will be forgotten in 3 generations. Like, what are you living for? And it's a plague. This goes back to the mental toughness. Are you even mentally tough enough to ask yourself like some of the hardest questions that have ever been asked? And the very men that have asked that are people like George Washington and Alexander the Great and like all that self-thought. George Washington didn't think he was going to win the Revolutionary War, but he had faith in God that it would, whatever providence provides, in the will of providence. And it's just kind of like the pursuit of purpose and like the highest, Jordan Peterson would say, align yourself to the highest order, right? That's beyond order and chaos is the name of his book. And that's like aligning yourself to God in some instances or your family in some, like he has a hierarchy because he loves fucking structure. But I think you can just remove a lot of it and just the Dan Carlin thing, pick 3 things you die for and then pick one that you would pick over the other 2. And that, if you can't figure that out, it's a starting point. It's not an end point.
It's probably a tremendously difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
I haven't actually sat down and tried, but like it has to be the hardest thing to do. Like, dude, trying to pick the 3 most important things to you, I could get there. I could do that part. Now prioritize them. That's fucking tough. Because I bet most
because
people
they're in
are the
itself,
same. Your top 3 things are probably almost a tie. Like,
but then it's like through your prioritization of those hierarchies, because they're all hierarchies, right? If you say your family, well, what is your family? Right? Like your family is your wife, your kids, it's part of your coworkers, your community. Like that's like, okay, not saying rate them, but like put that whole thing aside. If you're gonna die for your country, well, what is your country? It's you're gonna die for politicians and endless wars. Or are you going to die for liberty and joy? Like, that's you know what I mean? And then you start like really looking at the things and the way you prioritize and what things you would actually think are worth your life. And maybe like when you're really aligned, maybe there is no other things you die for. There's just the thing that you're dying for. You know what I mean? Like, you live so in alignment with being or soul or spirit or source that like all that other extra shit, you're just like, it's kind of like when you read Romeo and Juliet, how they like always talk to God that whatever destiny awaits, and they just like fucking float away with the wind if the wind blows that way. Like, I almost wonder, I know I'm romanticizing Shakespearean English, David, but I wonder if people really just, I can't imagine what it's like when all of the world just leaves it up to the gods. Like what that just breeds, like God wills it, like so be it. It is what it is, right? All these sayings that we got, treat others how you want to be treated. These leftover sayings to like such heavy spiritual alignment tools that humans figured out a millennia ago. And then you tie it back to this guy. He's seeking the next highest order. He's seeking higher purpose. He's trying to find another thing to die for, basically. Like, what is,
Well,
if I have, if my mom's retired, if my kids' college is secured and their kids' college is secured, and we have 100 million in Bitcoin, and we have stocks that will go to bonds, and it's all set up, and you basically just wake up to live to die. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Maybe that's why paintings, maybe some artists really shit out to just see where they suck. Like, I wonder if like when painters fall off or writers fall off, I wonder if some of it's on purpose.
like just trying to test limits, maybe.
Test their limits, also test their audience if they actually even like the shit. Because the writer knows, like, flow when you're in flow. But I almost wonder, Eminem's a prime example of this, right? People say, I liked Eminem when he was on drugs, not off of drugs. But when you listen, there's an area in his music that he's transitioning. And it's like, you almost, now that you can take a track from now 10 years ago and then 10 years before that, you can literally see, you could almost hear the difference, right? Like, you could see this transition of this thing, and him having to like relearn how to be himself. And like, I guess that's like what, it's the turn the lead into gold thing, but with like your personality endlessly. But yeah, back, just round it out. I've literally, and the mental health thing, I chose myself a long time ago. It was before I had kids, before I had friends, before, it was probably something I chose when I was very little from some abandonment or trauma or some shit that I just said, you know what? I will never allow myself to be put in a position for X, Y, and Z. And I just ran to it. I will do whatever for those that I love. And I will always be there to support all the people I can along the way and all that shit. But at the end of the day, like, what is it all for if I can't live what I want to live for? And I'm in a weird point in my life right now. Like, I didn't have a lot of time today for X, Y, and Z reasons. And some things have to get put off till tomorrow. But if tomorrow never comes, the thing never got solved. Even if it's a day late, it's still $1 short, right? So it still feeds the very thing that's destroying the means. Like, it's almost like you got to pave a road in front of you by taking from the one behind. And then you can't go back. So you have to just keep going forward. And I think that's where people in their 30s, Dave, like this young man, like all of us, that dude and us, I think this is where like a lot of guys let their foot off the gas. And then they're 45 with an alcoholic problem, and they got a whore for a daughter or a burnout for a son. And they ask themselves, where the fuck I went wrong. They bankrupt their family, they get divorced, or she gets divorced. And I know why you give up. I know why you want to give up, but it's not that we can't give up, but maybe giving up is the right thing to do as long as you find something worth not giving up for after that. Like, just find the next thing that you're not going to give up for. I think, to go full circle, David, what other clip could we tie this into? But even the mental health thing. That's it. That I think most people that are on mental health medication, if you were to start dieting and exercising correctly, 85% of your symptoms will go away that you considered bad. Because your depression is your body hating itself because you're fat and can't walk around. Anxiety is your body trying to perform because it knows that like something is wrong. Hypertension, maybe you have high blood pressure because your body's so stressed from all the things you put it through. And instead of addressing the root cause, which back to your medication thing, David, we just sell band-aids because we can always sell more band-aids, but we can't sell band-aids to people that are healthy. And the thing that is really making me focus on my fitness, and I encourage everybody to get as fit as you can, because in the very near future, it will be more common to be a millionaire than to have a nice body. And all the wealthy people will be fit and all the poor people will be fat because it will be a class system based on your physique because they will make it so hard and expensive and time consuming to get a good body, to keep a good body. They'll poison more food. They'll poison, they'll make meat more money, whatever it is. But Jeff Bezos is getting jacked for a reason because you can't buy abs. You can't buy that body with all the money in the world.
The thing
without people knowing.
That's crazy is we're there now anyway for a different reason, and it's because the same, we've talked about this many times, but the same people who can acquire mass amounts of wealth are the same. It takes the same type of person to hit the gym hard, get a six-pack. And we had a clip forever ago, and I don't remember the guy's name. You probably remember his name. But he literally came on and he said, listen, man, if you're 6 foot, make six figures, and you have a six-pack, you're a top 1% person on planet Earth. And I joked with Ryan at the time. I said I'm 2/3 of the way there. Six-pack, and funny enough, six-pack's the hardest one.
It is. It's harder to be a millionaire than to have a six-pack. Like, there's just more millionaires than people with six-packs.
Yeah, it's harder to have a six-pack.
Which is so funny because even as a broke bloke, if you're a broke dude, you could still fuck the millionaire's wife.
Oh, fuck
like,
yeah.
Dude, there's a picture of Jeff Bezos with his new girlfriend, wife, or whatever, when she met Leonardo DiCaprio. And, dude, she creamed her pants in the fucking photograph because Leo is just sexy. Like, and Bezos was one of the wealthiest people on Earth. There ain't no amount of money that's going to keep that at bay, dude. Human nature don't care about dollars. It cares about resources, but that's a different. Are you looking up the photo?
No.
No, I thought.
Oh no.
I mean, you don't have to, but it is exceptional. It was it's probably a couple of years old by now, but that always stuck in my head because most of the dating advice on the internet, or when you think about dating, you can't be broke, and everybody's in different situations, but Leonardo DiCaprio's fucking billionaires' wives. You know what I mean? Like, just get as fit as you can. Like, just do what you can to the body you got. And you're even going to the gym 2 days a week, you're probably in the top 25% of Americans, just literally physically. And then it don't matter if you and I make the same money and I'm fit and you're not, I'm already better on paper for a job promotion, for better friends. It's not even about getting laid or you will have better results in this world. And I think people forget you want me to accept you, but you don't accept that I want excellence out of everybody.
Yeah, I think that gets lost a lot because it's like, I don't even tolerate it from myself. So like, why would I be okay with it from other people?
Yeah, Tate actually says this all the fucking time. He said, if you can't love working, he's like, I work when I'm tired. Like, I work when I'm hungry. And you're not going to get up because you don't feel like it? He's like, I don't fucking ever. David Goggins, I don't feel like fucking running. But I sit there for 20 minutes, I put my shoes on, and then I just get up and start running. How are you going to beat somebody that just will do it regardless? Will do it on no sleep, with no money, with none of this, alone, in the cold, no clothes. Like, you're fucking back to the whole money. I was outside in 30-mile-an-hour winds with every piece of clothing I had on and still cold, freezing with hand warmers, getting paid, building shit for somebody else. But I got to hear you bitch about how you and I don't make the same amount of money when I risk my life at work. I picked it,
I was
but
going to
you
say
also picked
you could have warmed up real quick, Ryan, if you just touched the right wires together.
Just this one and this one.
And instantly warm.
Fucking barbecue.
That's really all, like, to be honest with you, Ryan, like, seat heaters are basically just big controlled shorts. I mean, it's fine. It'll be all right.
Basic controlled shorts. 120 is more dangerous than 480, David.
What about 12 volts? Ryan, that's what most car stuff is. Old car stuff. New car stuff is different.
Yeah, what do they run?
Don't touch the spicy wires. 400
Spicy.
volts.
Are they?
I don't know amps
400?
and stuff. I know everyone's gonna. Oh, the amps are what matters. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Go
I mean,
click 'em
volts
and
will kill
see
you.
how many amps they have. I think it all kills you. Doesn't it all kill you? It'll all kill you. I guess
There's been people that have been shocked by doing an outlet, and then 2 days later they fall over from a heart attack.
They must have known something about the CIA.
Or Hillary Clinton. What'd you know about the magic bullet theory?
Bullets are quite magical. They just do weird things, Ryan. Do you want to end on misogyny? Let's do misogyny.
Always. I will always
done
massage
stuff
out.
in a while. I think the one thing the show is missing is back to our roots, Ryan. A little bit of misogyny.
What do you mean you don't have a boyfriend? You're so pretty. What do you mean you have 0 men in your phone? What do you mean you've gone 8 months without? What do you mean? That makes no sense. Yeah, well, combine pretty with intelligent, strong, successful, slaying at life, you've got a very terrifying woman on your hands. A very not easy woman on your hands, right? Men don't like that. Men do not like me. Men are very, very terrified of me.
I don't need to play the rest of the clip. She nailed it. She already figured it out. So just
Yeah.
fix
Well,
just fix
here's
it.
the thing.
Wait,
I
should
am
play the
not
rest of the clip?
terrified. I am not terrified of you. You're just not going to win an argument with me. Because, look, this reminds me of the bitch that got me thrown out the bar. Because I have a bachelor's degree. It's like, I'll burn your bachelor's degree. What the fuck you got now, bitch? Like, you are not. I'm not terrified of arguing with a woman. The thing I'm terrified is all the men that are trying to lick your fucking ass are going to try to fight me and call me an asshole because I was mean to a... That's why I get called misogynist, David, because women literally... Look at... You paused at the perfect time. Snake. Fucking succubuses, dude. They will literally weaponize your shit if you give them enough info. It's amazing to me. If you give somebody enough rope, they eventually hang themselves. And look, most men probably are terrified of you, but the actual real men of the world, I ain't fucking scared of nothing. I ain't scared of no girl. I ain't scared of no girl. What am I terrified of?
I think she's misdiagnosing it a little bit because she's using terms like terrified, and what it is annoyed. They're annoyed by people like you. They don't want to be around you. They don't want to spend time with you. You're annoying.
Yeah,
and you're
you'd
not
be a lot hotter
attractive
if you
enough to
close your mouth.
You're not attractive enough to be annoying. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no way. You'd have to be like
way more attractive to be that.
Way
annoying.
hotter.
And
at
quite
least
frankly,
twice.
even then, I'm only going to spend so much time with you.
Yeah,
Just
I might see you like 2 days a week. Yeah, you'd be way hotter if you shut the fuck up and acted like you didn't know
And
something.
the men who do
yeah, what I'm almost curious now.
like me, the ones that are attracted to me, are unavailable. Men who are in relationships actively.
Imagine being in a relationship and then being like, nope, this girl is the one I'm like, how annoying is your current girlfriend?
And uggo weirdos. Because at the end of the day, I am merely just a fantasy. I am not a real human because of the pretty and scary. So yes, babe, I'm I'm alone. I'm very, 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 very single.
Holy fuck.
She says that she's slaying at life, but is like really upset about not. I just seen another one from Asthma Gold or whatever the guy's name is, and it said the bubble's finally bursting. And it's this 29-year-old girl going on and on about how I've waited for Mr. Right and I've done all the self work. I'm a strong, independent woman. I love my dog. And it was like the same thing, but a little more feminine. It's just like, yeah. She's like, my friends and family say I'm doing it wrong. My therapist says I'm doing something wrong. If I'm this amazing person, I'm just not attracting what I want. It's like, yeah, because you're the fucking problem. In my whole life, you're either the reason you're a problem. There's two reasons, David. You're either a problem to yourself or you're a problem to the world. And the problem to the world is a lot of time is when you're saying the thing that nobody else wants to say that needs to be said. Like when you work at a shitty job and you look at the managers and say, dude, you're just shitty as a manager. You know what I mean? Then you become the problem for the whole fucking company. And Dave knows that I know that because that's what I did. But the other one is when people keep telling you you're the problem, but the problem is actually you're questioning their status quo. That's the one I get. When I'm the
Ryan, that's
problem
one
in
of the
everything.
48 laws of power. You were, if I remember correctly, Ryan. Pull this
They're
up.
on the back. They're on the back.
They're on the front. Are they on the back? They're on the back. Mine aren't on the back. Ryan, you were trying to outshine the master. It's the first one, Ryan. Don't question them.
Yeah.
Just get in line, peasant.
Yep. I don't know, but it is interesting. Women are actually realizing that
It's
men
also
don't
law
want to deal
for
with.
always say less than necessary.
Oh, I love that one. The one I really like that I wish I was better at was having people do my ideas for me, but make them think it was their idea. I forget how he words it.
Law 7, get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit.
Yeah, that's the one. Which is basically management. Yeah, my team and I, we did a real good job fixing your car. Dude, you didn't do fucking anything. You said hello, hi, here's your keys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Handshakes and high fives, and you're out of there, you know? I don't know. This is interesting. I don't know if the great feminine awakening is happening or this is just some contrived algorithmic Jewish attack, David, but I'd like to think that eventually, no matter how much money these women have or how happy they are, women really don't like, no one likes being alone. Men kill themselves, though. But women, they will just sedate, they'll drink, they'll go out with their girlfriends, they'll have reckless spending, they'll go on girls' trips, they'll buy shit for their dog, they'll spoil their kids. They will do everything to get away from the feeling of ick that they have when they are alone and they're not happy or not happy in a relationship or marriage. It eats at women. Men just get depressed and kill themselves. But women spiral, man. And I'm just sick of seeing broken people. I've talked about this 100 times, so we'll get out of here. It's just, we got to all get better, get healthier. Maybe that's the better way to say it. Get healthier. And we got to try to wash the blood off our hands, David, me included the most. But Dave Ryan, December 17th, 70.
Maybe we all just need a bunch of medication, right?
Just take the pill, Ryan, and go back to bed. Everything is fine. The world is 100% completely real. You are just living in your own simulation. This may be a figment of your imagination, but we'll never tell you.
Are you off your joy, Ryan?
Am I off my joy? I'm going to get off my rocker here in a minute. But Dave Ryan, December 17th, 73. Catch us on Rumble for the only podcast left in all of human existence, David. There's no others. As always, David, I appreciate you most for your time, and I'll see everybody soon.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks.